A pointer is a variable that stores memory address. Now it is called a pointer because it points to a particular location in the memory by storing the address of that memory location. To understand pointers, you need to know a bit about memory, and I am going to explain it all, and at the end of this video you will have no problem with pointers. Here I have just declared a variable named a of type int. Now every variable takes some amount of space in the computer's memory. Now this variable a is of type int, and you should know that int data types take 2 bytes space in the memory. So this variable a will take 2 bytes space in the computer's memory. So what this means is that 2 bytes of space will be allocated to this variable a somewhere in the memory. Now let's say this is my computer's memory. Now let's say this memory location is allocated to the variable a. Now every memory location has an address, so this memory location which is allocated to the variable a will also have an address. I can go ahead and find out the address of the memory location that is allocated to the variable a. This is the ampersand sign, and in C language it means address of. So this whole thing means address of a. So this printf statement will print the address of a. Now I am going to compile and run this program. So this is the address of the memory location which is allocated to this variable a, 2359156. I have declared two more variables, variable b of type int, the value of b is equal to 10, variable c of type float, the value of c is equal to 5.8, variable a is not assigned any value, address of b, address of c. So these are the addresses of a, b and c. Now let's say this memory location is allocated to variable b and the address of b is this. This memory location is allocated to c and the address of c is this. This memory location contains garbage value because a is not assigned any value. This memory location contains 10 and this memory location, which is c, contains 5.8, and data in memory is not stored in this manner. The value of c will not be stored like 5.8. It will be stored in binary form in form of zeros and ones. Now I am going to explain you pointers. Now a pointer is a variable and every variable has a data type. So int p1. Now this p1 is a variable, and if I put an asterisk sign before the name of this variable, then this p1 becomes a pointer or a pointer variable. Now here I have just declared a pointer whose name is p1. At the beginning of this video I told you that a pointer is a variable that contains memory address. So this pointer p1 has to contain some address, and we have to tell the compiler that what address a pointer will store. So if I write p1 equals to ampersand a, this sign means address of, and this whole thing means address of a. So this statement means that there is a pointer named p1 that contains address of a, and the address of a in my case is this 2359156. So this pointer p1 contains address of a. So a simple variable can contain value of type int, char, float, double, etc. But a pointer variable contains address. Here I have declared a pointer named p2 that stores the address of b, and the address of b in my case is this. So this pointer p2 contains the address of b. Now there's absolutely no difference between these two statements and this statement. Both of them do the same thing. Here I have first declared the pointer named p1 and then assigned it the address of a. Here I have declared the pointer named p2 as well as initialized it with the address of b in the same line. Now I want a pointer that can store the address of this variable c, and this c is of type float, so the pointer should be of type float. p3 equals to address of c, and the address of c in my case is this. So this pointer p3 stores the address of c. Now I am going to print the value of pointer p1. The value of a pointer is the address which it stores. Here the pointer p1 is storing the address of a, so the value of pointer p1 is the address of a. p1 is the name of the pointer. So the value of pointer p1 is 2359156, which is the address of a. So somewhere in the memory there is a pointer named p1 that contains the address of a, which is this, and because it contains the address of a memory location, it means it points to that memory location. And this is why a pointer is called a pointer, because it points to a particular memory location by storing the address of that memory location. Now because it stores the address of a memory location, we can access the data which is stored in this memory location using this pointer p1. In case of p2, p2 stores the address of b, which is this. So p2 points to this memory location, and using pointer p2 we can access the data which is stored in this memory location, and the data here is 10. With the help of this printf statement, I am trying to access or print the data or value from the memory location whose address is in pointer p1. This p1 is a pointer, and because it is a pointer, it's obvious that it will be storing some address. And whose address is this pointer p1 storing? It's storing the address of a. So if I put an asterisk sign before the name of this pointer p1, then it means I'm trying to access the value or data from the memory location whose address is stored in pointer p1. Or in other words, I'm trying to access the value from the address which p1 is storing, and p1 is storing the address of a, so this printf statement should print the value of a. The value of a is 2. Now in this program I have not given a any value, so it's printing the garbage value. This 2 is a garbage value. If I go ahead and initialize this variable a to 5 and then run this program, then it prints the value of a is 5. So this p1 is storing the address of A, and if we want to access the value from that address, then we simply put an asterisk sign before the name of the pointer. Now this should be 5. So now I can do the same for pointers P2 and P3. Value of pointer P2 is the address of B. Value of pointer P3 is the address of C. This pointer P3 is of type float, so %f. Value of C. Value of P2 is the address of B because P2 is storing the address of B. Value of B is 10. Value of P3 is the address of C because P3 is storing the address of C. Value of C is 5.8. So by now you should have understood what pointers are. Now let's say I want to add A and B using pointers. Now if I am not using pointers, then I can simply do A plus B and it will add A and B. But I want to do it using pointers. P1 is storing the address of A, so if I want to access the value from the address which P1 is storing, then I can simply put an asterisk sign. So this should give me the value of A, which is 5. P2 is storing the address of B, and asterisk P2 should give me the value of B, which is 10. So the sum of A and B is 15. 5 plus 10 is 15. Let's say I make P1 equals to P2. Now P2 is storing the address of B. So the value of P2 is equal to the address of B. I've assigned P1 the value of P2. Now P1 is storing the value of P2, or you can say P1 is storing the address of B because the value of P2 is equal to the address of B. So now the value of pointer P1 is 2359152, which is equal to the value of P2 and which is the address of B. Now pointer P1 is storing the address of B. So asterisk P1 will allow me to access the value which is in that memory address. So this should give me the value of B, which is 10. So the value of B is 10. Now before ending this video, what I want to tell you is that a pointer is a variable, and when it is created, it is allocated some amount of space in the memory, and anything that occupies space in the memory has to have a memory address. So this pointer P1 has its own address, just like this variable A has its own address, and I can go ahead and find out the address of pointer P1 using this printf statement. So this is the address of pointer P1. But while working with pointers, you don't have to worry about the address of the pointer. All you have to focus on is that whose address is the pointer storing. Like in this case, pointer P1 is storing the address of A. Here pointer P2 is storing the address of B. Here pointer P1 is storing the value of pointer P2, which is the address of B. So pointer P1 is storing the address of B. So just focus on whose address is the pointer storing. So this was all about pointers. So this is the end of this video, and thanks for watching.